thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music mixed for living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph baking in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the word of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world at what he does. Tap in. What up, people? What up, people? What up, people? I don't hear y'all. How come I don't hear y'all? I said what up, and y'all ain't saying what up back. What's good with y'all? What's really good with y'all? What up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. Yeah, man. How's everyone doing? I know y'all probably trying to figure out why in the hell do I have a t-shirt over my head? Why do I have a t-shirt over my face? Why do I have a t-shirt in my hands to begin this podcast? I will tell you why. A little, ad placement? A little merchandise placement? You know, what does that say? That says GI, right? Yeah, that says GI. You see the two stick figures? One giving the other one a German suplex? No, get your mind out the gutter, because I know some of y'all out there know that I can be NC-17 at times, but not in this case. This is actually a collector's item. Do you know why this is a collector's item? Because this is no longer available. That's right. This is no longer available. They updated their merch. And I think, matter of fact, I'm quite sure I got the last piece of GI merch before they have this nice spiffy new logo. The reason I have this in my hand and not actually on my body is because, if you can see, even though I don't know why my color looks like a little off or whatever, but if you can see, this is a black shirt. Matter of fact, this would be better. This is a black shirt, right? But this shade, and y'all know how I do, I like to match. Like, I like to match from hat to t-shirt / sweater. And if this is a full body view, a full frontal view, if you will, you would notice that my sneakers match the t-shirt, which matches the hat. Unfortunately, I don't have a hat that actually matches this t-shirt. And I've actually had this t-shirt in the stash for maybe about 3-4 months. And I'm like, I really meant to wear it on my inaugural edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, when I actually had one half of gimmick infringement. I don't know if, I'm trying to think whether he would be this half right here or this half right here. I'm not sure. But regardless, when I had one half of gimmick infringement, Tyler McDowell -Blinken as my guest on the first edition of the rebrand. You know what? I'm going to put this right here, so this is nice in the view. I really meant to wear that shirt because he did wear the Knicks hat for me, and I wore a pool party hat. Go figure. But regardless, yeah, I really meant to wear it, but I didn't have a hat to match. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna wait until I get a hat to match. But don't have a hat to match. and I don't like wearing my hat, backwards. I used to back in the day, but defeats the purpose. So I decided to spend the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes of this podcast, of this video, of this YouTube exclusive. No, not really exclusive, but you get the gist. Um, putting it a GI on display. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it right here for now. Right. Okay. Good. So yeah. So this week is going to be very funny, and hopefully it'll be very fun for you because this is literally going to be an episode where I go off the top of the dome because there's not really much that I really want to get into in depth. So I'm going to bounce around on certain topics. But before I saw that, yeah, you see, Mike Steph, aka Mikey Anakin. Yes, Mikey Anakin. Um, I no longer proclaim myself to be a Sith, but the Anakin still remains. The Anakin still remains. But yeah, so this episode, I'm going to be talking about various topics. Hopefully, I'll have a lot of humor. Probably human poor taste in some respects, but human nevertheless. And oh yeah, that's right. 6 minutes in, intro time. Intro. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll just go down the list of what I'm going to talk about before I get into what's coming up. I'm going to be having more discussion because it was a very popular issue, a popular topic last week, especially with my brother from the shoot job, Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach, when I was talking about my amazing Mets, or should I say, my amazing mess. So yeah, they will be back on the docket this week. Unfortunately, nothing's changed because since I spoke to you last week concerning the Amazons, they got one win. So now they are 2-8 in their last 10 games. They're firmly under 500, and they just are coming off a lost weekend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to be exact. And you know what that leads? Yeah, it's a damn shame. I mean, we lost, man. It's really going to be a lost season. It really is. Enough to make me just want to give this to the Mets themselves because they are really effing up my program. Because this is the time of year that normally I pivot into baseball talk, or at least try to come up with some baseball talk. But there's nothing to talk about when it comes to the Amazons. So yeah, I'll be talking about that. I also will be talking about an event that happened this past week, um, an event of epic proportion and not really positive. And see that? Yeah. You see that red dot in the air? You see that red dot? That wasn't an infrared beam. No. That wasn't a faulty camera. No. That was actually the sun in New York City this past week. Um, so I have a couple things I want to get off my chest when it comes to the conditions this past week, the conditions that are starting to creep up as we speak. People are fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't be alarmed. Matter of fact, be alarmed to a certain degree, but don't be fooled. They say everything is okay. Today was proof positive that everything is not back to normal. And tell you the truth, things have been this way longer than our public officials, our government officials have been willing to let the public know. So yeah, I will be talking about that. And last but not least, I'm going to unveil a new segment on this pod, which is not really a segment, so to say. I mean, so to speak. It's more of the mood that I'm in right now. And the mood I'm in is I feel like being B.O.M.B.S. Do you know what that acronym stands for? Do you know what those letters stand for? If you don't, I tell you. Back on my bullshit. Yeah, yeah. There's a certain je ne sais quoi of when I talk my ish that's been missing. Matter of fact, it's been there here and there, but let's put it this way. Today, this week, I'm going to give you the full gamut. As I told y'all last week, and I will reiterate this week. If you think that the salty thoughts of Mike Steph is some sort of politically correct platform, you're wrong. If you think the salty thoughts of Mike Steph is a quote unquote safe space, you're wrong. No more censorship. No more biting my tongue. No more Mr. Nice Guy, if you will. Hence, the return, or should I say, the rebranding of Donnie Anakin. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's what's on deck this week. It's probably not gonna be for the squeamish. And if you're squeamish and when you get to a point that you just say, nah, I think he went too far. All right, see you next week. Basically like that. I ain't begging nobody to stay. You're all welcome. And the pleasure has been all yours. I had to take it back to Jesse the Body for a minute. All right, now, before I get this show on the road, there is a couple things I need to attend to. Topic number one, or issue number one, or matter of fact, just number one. Next week, there will be no Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph episode. There will be no Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast or video. You want to know why? You want to know why? You want to know why? 3 reasons. Uno, dos, tres. Oh yeah. Before I get into it, and I'm sorry, Sister Steph, because she caught me up on the carpet and she told me, you know what, I was looking forward to it, and you just kind of just like swept that under the rug. My little thing that I was doing. Yeah, this is episode 14. Yeah, episode 14. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez, once, doce, which y'all got in little pieces. Trece. Oh yeah, be careful for Trece because she burns like a mother effer. And today, catorce, episode 14. And just that little tangent had made me lose my train of thought. But I'm back. I'll get to it. Next week is Father's Day. Father's Day weekend. And like I told y'all last week, I got some plans. I'm going to be out of state. And I was deciding whether or not I was actually going to bless y'all with an episode. And I came to the decision that I am not. I am going to take the weekend because I'm going to have a lot of driving the weekend because I'm going down to Greensboro, North Carolina, home of the NWA title change, July 9th, 1986, when the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, won his 3rd and final world championship from the Nature Boy Ric Flair inside the confines of a steel cage. Yeah, I'm going to Greensboro. Got some family business to attend to. My goddaughter is turning uno. So going to celebrate that. And I'm also going to definitely, unless plans change, but right now, I don't care about hook or crook. Definitely, I am going to see cousin Ooh. Yeah, even though it's Mike Steph, he's still cousin Ooh. Because I'm going to be in his home state. He in Raleigh, you know, Raleigh Durham, but he's in Raleigh. So yeah, I'm going to see him. And I'm just looking at all this and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to have time to do an episode. So I'm just going to give y'all a heads up. There will be no episode next week, not even an audio version. Like I said, I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be out of state. It's Father's Day, so I'm taking the weekend off. And guess what? I'm free because it's Juneteenth next Monday, June 19th. So for those 3 reasons, yeah, I ain't giving an episode. The following week is going to be interesting, and this is one of the times that even though most of the time I really don't care, this is one of the times that I really need y'all to check out my social media platforms so I can let y'all know exactly what's going to go on the week or the weekend of the 24th. Mike Steffens _ on Twitter. Mike _ Steph on Instagram. And Mike Steph _ on TikTok. Even though I'm probably not going to do no updates on TikTok. Because I'm going to be out of state that weekend too. But just perhaps, not perhaps, I'm going to be out of state to see my 2 closest, dearest people, my brother and my sister from another, brother Mark and sister Steph. Not to be confused with sister Steph in the Bronx, but sister Steph down in Pennsylvania. I know. See me changing the name up has led to a mass confusion. But regardless, if you need more clarification, my brother and sister that you heard on what episode was that? What, 120? You know what? I know this is unprofessional, but guess what? Deal with it. Okay, let's see. I know it was couple retreat, right? So it was 120. What, 127? Ah, yeah. 127. Episode 127 of the Salty Thoughts podcast. Right now, under the name of Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph. 127. Couples retweet. Retweet. Retreat. Featuring Steph and Money Man. Hashtag Salty Summer 2. Oh, yeah. Salty Summer 3 is going to be a thing. Y'all think because certain things have changed, and certain things have changed for the better. Don't get me wrong. But still, there will be a 3rd iteration of Salty Summer. Just follow the hashtag Salty Summer 3. It's coming. So I haven't decided whether or not maybe we might do a podcast. Maybe we might do a part 2 to that very, very popular episode. Maybe not. So I'll let y'all know on the following, on the platforms that I kind of scrolled at the bottom before I stopped the scroll. So yeah, I think that's what I had to get into, or I had to let y'all know. Yeah, so I told y'all I'm going to be all over the place this week. So don't say y'all wasn't warned. And with all that being said and done, let's get this show on the road, huh? Without further ado, good night, and goodbye. Oh, 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 oh. Goodbye. Bang. I don't even know why I really didn't mean to start with this topic, but the button pressed the way it wanted to press. The amazing Mets, the less said about them, the better. So I'm going to get them in and out, as I'm known to do. In and out and in. You're talking to the spousal chief. You know, misdirect the pussy and leave. Yeah, me. Told you I'm bugging. Look at this. That is a man in distress. That is a man or a baseball player that does not know what he needs to do next. That is a man that knows no matter what he does, resistance is futile. Something like the Mets. The Mets today lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers shows where my head at. My head is on football already. Already June 11th. My head is definitely on football. They lost to the Pittsburgh Pirates to a tune of 2-1. And you would say, "Oh, it's hard. It was a hard for a game. You know, tough luck." No, no, no. You know what the definition of a bad team is? I don't know if I said this last week, but if I did, I'm going to reiterate it again. The definition of a bad team is they can't be consistent. They cannot be a whole team. When they pitch, when they got good pitching, they can't hit. And when they hit the cover off the ball, they can't pitch. And then there's days that they can't do neither. And in this series, with the microcosm of all that, because today the Mets scrounged up a total of 3 hits, 1 run on 3 hits. And you know they got that 1 run from the power bat, and I say that sarcastically, the power bat of Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil is batting .274. That just shows you that we ain't shit at all. And we're going to continue to not be SHIT. Because when your starting pitcher gives you 4 2/3 innings, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really pay attentive, well, was very attentive to the game because I was out and about, so I was listening here and there. But when your starting pitcher only gives you 4 2/3 innings and 81 pitches, and you already have a bullpen that's ran into the ground, what else is there to say? Truthfully, what else is there to say? So the one game that we actually held Pittsburgh in check, we couldn't hit. And you want to know why we couldn't hit? I'll tell you why we couldn't hit. Because one of our key cogs is missing. This guy. Pete Alonso. This past week. Matter of fact, he is currently on the IL or IR. He got drilled in his wrist. On his wrist. This past week against Atlanta by Charlie Morton. Yeah, that sounds right. 97 mile per hour fastball right on the wrist. And do you know what disgusts me most about what happened? Not for the fact that, matter of fact, not just because another Met got hit with no retaliation. Oh, yeah, Max Scherzer was on the mound. And not one Atlanta Brave got brushed back. Not one Atlanta Brave got beamed in the back. Not one Atlanta Brave got dusted off the plate. That's bad enough. Do you know these cretins, these miscreants of fans, or who they call fans down in A-Town? cheered, and then there was a chant of "Hit him again, one more time, one more time," like we had an episode of Raw. There was a cheer when Pete Alonso took himself out the game, and anybody knows if Pete Alonso allowed himself to be taken out the game, he was in pain, he was hurt, and there was a massive roar. And y'all want to know why I hate the Braves? Never forget about the fact that they got a number. They've had a number for years, especially in Atlanta. Forget about the fact that our season really ended last year in that 3-game sweep in Atlanta, which cost us the division, put us in the wild card, and effectively ended our season. It's because Atlanta Braves fans have no class. No class whatsoever. Now, I could go on and on and on about what the Mets need to do. It doesn't really matter. It came out this week, or should I say, it was implied this week that Buck Showalter, manager of the New York Metropolitans, the reason he's had such a blasé or laissez-faire attitude this year is because he has no input in the lineups, in the erratic lineups that the New York Metropolitans have been putting out. Whether that's true or false, I don't know. A lot of Met faithful have been calling on Buck Showalter to show some fire, to show some fire and brimstone, if you will. A lot of New York Met fans have called for the hiring of Wally Backman. Listen, once Cohen took over the team, that was a pipe dream. Speaking of Mr. Cohen, happy birthday, Steve. I wonder how you're going to celebrate your birthday with your 8th loss in the last 10 games, with your 300 plus million payroll, currently 4 games below 500. He did not become a billionaire by resting on his laurels. He did not become a billionaire most of the times over for accepting a crap product. And that's my only hope, is that heads should roll. Or at least heads should be put on notice. Billy Epler. And I'm gonna segue this. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna segue this. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, I am. I'm gonna segue this into the upcoming 2-game set at home against our crosstown rivals, the New York Yankees. There will be no anti-Yankee rhetoric coming from yours truly. Not now, probably not in the future, for 2 reasons. One, being 4 games below 500 when the Yankees are currently, I believe, about 10, 11 games over 500, albeit still the same amount of games out of first place that we are. I think we're 9.5 games back, and they're 8.5 games back. But it's a big difference. They're still a winning team. They're just in the division with an abnormally hot Tampa Rays team. So, and 2, last year things got a little spicy. I was feeling myself. Rip me out the plastic, yeah, I'm feeling brand new. I ain't smoking on the cigarette, I'm smoking on you. Yeah, I was feeling myself last year. because the Mets made me feel like I could talk my ish. When you're below 500 and when you lost 8 out of the last 10 games and when you've lost your last 3 consecutive series, you really can't talk but so much. Even though that's a little bop. What's happening? What's happening? I ain't gonna lie. I was telling Tyler. I was like, look, I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of my guilty pleasure tune right now. Put it on the floor. Even though the first half of the video, I'm not gonna lie, I have to turn my head because whatever you might think about me, whatever I might put out to the masses of I really don't give a F. There's one thing I am not. I'm not a pedophile. Lotto believe she's around the age of my daughter, Mia. Doesn't matter. I can't. Cardi, yeah, I can look at. Lotto, I can't. Like, come on, like I can't. I just can't. But Lotto got some. Lotto got some lyrics. I remember from damn the Jermaine Dupri show. Damn, I don't know why I'm blanking on the top on the off I'm blanking on the title of that show. Was it such and such rapper show? The new rapper, the little, pretty much she was like 16 on that show. She won the competition. She chose not to sign because she was like, you ain't. She already had her team already, and years later, she proved everybody who thought she made the wrong decision wrong because look at her. She doing a thing. But yeah, that's my what's happening. Yeah. So I'm not gonna talk spicy about the Yankees, but I will say this: Billy Epler needs to be taken to task, needs to be put on notice, because no matter how much I might dislike the Yankees, certain things, or should I say, really dislike this fan base for the most part, the entitlement of the fan base, I will say this: every damn year, and I don't know how they become. Whoever is their talent scout, the development team, they should probably be in the position that Brian Cashman is in. Because Brian Cashman, every offseason, he makes wrong move after wrong move after wrong move, and he gets bailed out by them picking up somebody or calling somebody up from the farm or taking a chance with somebody off the scrap heap, and they keep the machine moving. Not by any thought I was thought I was frozen. Did you? No, but not for any credit of Brian Cashman, but it's just like every year they just have random players that just sink right in there and just keeps it going. Like right now, Aaron Judge is out for the foreseeable future due to, I don't know if they said he had turf toe, but pretty much he injured his toe when they was out in LA against the Dodgers. When he made that spectacular catch where he ran through the bullpen door, he stubbed his big toe. And I'm not sure if it's fractured, I'm not sure if it's sprained or whatever, but pretty much he's out for the foreseeable future. And of course, Yankees, what do? The Yankees are 5-5 in the last 10 games, but and they just lost tonight, 3-2 to a thriller. So they lost 2 out of 3 games to Boston. Oh, don't you see that tear? You don't see that tear? Yeah, you don't. You don't see that tear? You don't? Because they ain't none. But guess what? They're gonna get their 2-game sweep this week when they come to Citi Field. Because I guarantee, we got Scherzer. We got Scherzer on the mound. So that means if we got Scherzer on the mound tomorrow on Tuesday, that probably means we got Verlander against his old teammate, his ex-teammate, Garrett Cole. And look at these numbers. Garrett Cole, 7-1 with a 2.84 ERA, 90 strikeouts to 29 walks with a whip of 1.14. That's Garrett Cole. Justin Verlander in limited action, but still 2-3, 2 wins, 3 losses, ERA of 4.85, 33 Ks, 13 walks, whip of 1.33. And before I get off this tight-ass topic, that matchup is going to be interesting because those are two pitchers that excelled in Houston. Now, Garrett Cole, even though he had a bumpy first year, he did rebound. He did rebound last year. And this year, he has been borderline dominant. I'll give him that much. It put some of my thoughts to rest on maybe since he didn't have the Spider Tack 2000 on his hands, that he was not going to be the pitcher that Yankees paid for. And so far this year, unless he done figured out a way to manipulate that rosin in the spit and the sweat and maybe some of the bodily fluids on his hand to replicate the Spider Tack 2000, he's giving the Yankees what they're paying for. On the other hand, Justin Verlander, you can't tell me this is either two things. This man aged overnight and he just doesn't have it anymore, or the majority of his run in Houston, he was aided by illegal activity. Either they were giving them, they're manipulating the signs, all this. They're manipulating the signs, or maybe he's having some home cooking. Maybe he was able to, get that grip right. Pause. something he was doing, because like I said last week, he's not living up to his standards. He's not living up to his standards at all, and it's getting close to that time in which the sun is soon to set on my amazing metropolitan season. But speaking of the sun, I sometimes I could do it great, and sometimes it comes naturally, and sometimes it don't. But speaking of no sunshine, ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and go away. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. Listen, does that look normal? That was last Tuesday. This was last Wednesday. For all my audio listeners, I'm sorry, I am kind of crafting it toward the video. Last Wednesday, we had Shades of the Apocalypse. Or shit, at least shades of the colors that are prominent on the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph. The sky was a burnt orange. Wednesday was what they said. It was New York had the worst air quality in the history. Well, in history. which is kind of fabricating stuff just a little bit. They said they started rating air quality in the early to mid 90s. So for the last 30 years, we had the worst air quality in the world this past Wednesday, and it was a little bit less on Thursday. I believe the air quality index goes up to 500, right? Last Wednesday, we was like 490 something. We had the worst air quality in the world. We literally was a shithole country because we beat out other shithole countries such as India. Such sorry. I tried to say that shit with a straight face too. And just like move past it. And then I realized what came out of my mouth, like, ooh, that was harsh. But we had the air quality of a third world nation. It got better on Friday. Friday, dare I say, was our best day. They had there was an air quality map. Right? Let's see if I can get it up. Of course not. Some BS. I'm going to try this. Let's see if it goes right back. Nope. But yeah, we had an air quality map, and it was like in different colors. So the New York tri-state area, matter of fact, the whole New York state was red. Then that was Wednesday. Matter of fact, Wednesday was purple. Thursday we was red. Then by Thursday night we became yellow, which was moderate, right? Moderate meaning, yeah, it ain't great, but unless you have any underlying symptoms, you could probably get by. And then Friday we was actually in green, meaning air quality is pretty good. Air quality is good. Yesterday it was greenish, but start creeping back into that yellow. Today, and I don't believe I heard anything on the news. We was in yellow. It was moderate. But point being, this is not a new phenomenon. Yeah, it was at its peak this past Wednesday and Thursday. But this is not a new phenomenon. For the last month and change, the sun has not been full. The sun has not been strong. The sun, if you look outside, even when it's a sunny day, the sun has been dull. Like a pale yellow. We're in June. Usually, if you're in the sun in June right now, especially in New York, you feel it. It's pounding against the skin. Not like July and August, but you're starting to feel the strength and the warmth of the sun. Has it been like that for the last month? It's almost reminiscent of, remember the couple times that we actually had a solar eclipse or partial solar eclipse, and it's light outside and it's sun, but it's like translucent. That's how it's been for the last month. Some people are saying that guy, Mr. Get Stuff Done, didn't act fast enough. I've been very transparent when it comes to my thoughts on Mayor Eric Adams, who I used to call affectionately Mayor Benson. I told y'all why I chose not to use that moniker for him anymore. While some would be right by saying, yeah, they were kind of slow in the response, he doesn't deserve all the blame. He deserves maybe some. Let's say maybe 15, 20%. Nurse Jackie, she's been dealing. You can't tell me. The capital is in Albany. She's from Buffalo. Their air quality's been shit for weeks because the fires are coming from Canada. So for it to come down to the city, is what you think it's just dodge? It's dodging Buffalo. It's dodging Albany. Like, my son Chef Mix lives upstate, and once I realized the severity of what was going on, I told him under no circumstances for you to come outside, because unfortunately I had to work. He's currently off. Don't come outside, because I know he doesn't have the high quality mask that was needed. I will give New York credit in this respect. Within a day and a half, they were rapidly giving out N95 masks to anybody and everybody who needed them. 400,000 was available in the city. Over 1 million was available in the state. And they did it within a day and a half. While some would be like, well, that's what they should have did. Yeah. Because like I'm telling you, this has not been a one-off phenomenon. And like I said, it's starting to creep back. Hopefully we will not get to the levels of last week, but it's starting to creep back. My disappointment is this. Where's DC in this? What is Washington doing? Only late last week did Biden, how many they said he sent, which is like a penance. They said he sent what, 100 firefighters to help the cause in Canada. If this problem in Canada, yeah, I know that's a different country, but if this problem in Canada is engulfing a portion of your country, of our country, if this problem in Canada is engulfing and compromising the unofficial capital of this country, New York City, where money makes the world go around. If it's compromising there, don't you think you need to do something a little bit once those fires got out of control, and we are the leader of the free world? Don't you think it would be in our best interest to send the cavalry up there to make sure that shit don't trickle down here? So that's why I say, yeah, Adams deserves maybe some blame. Nurse Jackie, Governor Hochul deserves some blame, but a lot of blame should go down to DC, because DC been dropping the ball on a lot of shit. Just saying. Also, did we not learn any type of lessons from the pandemic? Of why are we still continuing to be reactive instead of proactive? Once we saw that fire was getting out of control, and the smoke, and we got all this technology of how the weather pattern is going to manipulate the smoke and for it to come into these cities. Right now, it's on the East Coast. We have evidence, we have proof, we have past history. 2020 in the West Coast, in the Pacific Northwest, the same exact situation was going on. So it's not like this is a once in a lifetime phenomenon. We just dealt with it 3 years ago on the left coast. Why are we being reactive instead of proactive? Why are you doing shit half-assed? What are you preoccupied with? Are you preoccupied with people rushing the border? I don't know. Are you preoccupied with, am I going to run again? I don't know. Are you preoccupied with, making sure your left foot goes in front of your right foot? I don't know. Yeah, I know. I'm taking cheap shopping. So what? I will say this, and I'm not going to say what side of the aisle I'm leaning on, because right now I'm neutral. I'm right in the middle. I'm independent, baby. Yeah, I'm rocking blue right now. I live in the blue straight. That don't mean I'll F with the red. That don't mean I F with the blue. Call me color purple. My state of mind is all purple. I will say this though. These instances that are happening at a rapid rate the last 12 months. Matter of fact, yeah, F it. Last 12 months. Inflation, gas, smoke inhalation, increased population, to be discreet. All these things are going to add up. And if people are not coming up with rational, solid solutions for these problems that continue to pop up, next year, you're leaving yourself open for people who are going to look at everything on a surface level to just say, well, we just had 4 years of that. Well, we need something different. And trust me, I don't think any of us really want something extremely different. And I'm not talking about the boogeyman either. But that mindset, that legion of acolytes, for a lack of a better term. You're leaving yourself open. You're leaving that door cracked. And these next 6 months are going to be very pivotal on which way our country is going to go in 2024. It's going to be interesting. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no going away. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. She gone, she gone, she gone. She gone, gone away. F it. I'm back on my bullshit. Yes, I am. This segment is just going to be me riffing off stuff that's come to my mind right before I start recording and say, you know what? I got an opinion on that. Or, you know what? I feel like just putting that out there and letting y'all have your opinion on what the hell I put out there. My audio listeners, please bear with me and try to envision. I'm going to try to try to explain the best way possible. But what I envision this segment to be is being the fact that I start adding the visual aspect of some pictures, spice things up a little bit. I'm going to put a picture on the screen and I'm going to give my opinion on that picture. And what I would love for y'all to do, my dozens and dozens of salty thought of Mike Steph listeners and viewers out there, I would love for y'all to put in the comments what y'all think. What y'all think of the things that come out of my mouth and the things that go on this screen. Yeah, there. So, I should start from the top down, but I never start from the top down. I start from the bottom up. Does anybody know who she is? I'm going to give y'all a minute. Do y'all know who she is? Do y'all know who this plain Jane, this female that is trying to run her hands through her scraggly hair, trying to look sexy and enticing. Do y'all know who the hell she is? Guess y'all don't. Maybe y'all know who she is. Yeah. Yeah. You know it's a difference, right? Yeah, that is actually the same woman. Yeah, go figure. Look. This person from Indiana, Mrs. Charlie Arnault. And this one right here, you know, about 3 shades darker. Yeah, that goes by the name of Charlie Caruso, but really her name still is Charlie Arnault. Oh, and one more flick. Yeah. Oh, now she's so from here, plain Jane from Indiana to Charlie Caruso to Latina Heat. She has come under fire this week. Matter of fact, not this week. She's come up under fire for the longest. Because she's always, I mean, it was like last year's old that people realized that she wasn't black. She had no Latino in her. She was from Indiana. So she went from WWE backstage interviewer. She left WWE, went to ESPN, sportscaster. She was part of a eclectic threesome on the podcast side. What was it? First Take, Her Take, or Her Take, First Take. It was like the female version of First Take. Came out on every Wednesday. It had Kimberly A. Martin. Why am I blanking on this woman's name? Elle Duncan. Shanae. And Charlie was supposed to be like, I guess she was supposed to be the point guard. And she's like, yeah, girl. Get it. That's right. And then she recently left or got released. I'm not sure which one, but she recently left ESPN to join the Outkick Network, a conservative network where she was able to spew her conservative views on transgenders, competing in female sports, and pretty much other views that coincide with the majority of people that are featured on Fox News. So she went from here to here, back to here. Don't she look like somebody that stormed the Capitol on January 9th, January 7th, January 6th? Yeah, doesn't anyway, pretty much don't she look like somebody who committed treason on the United States? I think so. Next on the list. Akinelli. This is an album that has been referenced here on the Salty Doors podcast for literally years. But finally, I can put a visual component to what I was trying to explain. This was Akinelli's debut LP back in the year 1993, but entitled Vagina Diner. I don't know what that thing down there that was dripping. I guess that's supposed to be her dripping hot. You know, her what you call her liquid of love. Her love liquid. What the hell is love liquid? I don't know. But yeah, Akinelli, this album had favorite joints of mine. No exit. I will not get into that because I think I might have almost got myself. You know what? Matter of fact, no. I forgot. This this segment is entitled "Back on My Bullshit." So yeah, that's right. The whole point of this segment is for me not to be censored. This LP had standout tracks. No exit, where Akinelli tells his girlfriend, "Yeah, bum bitch, there is no exit. I want to get out the relationship, but I'm scared that my man will flip. He always talking he gonna kill me and fill me with the bullet from his clip. I want to get out." And don't take this as me actually um endorsing domestic abuse. No. I like the song. There was other uh there was other standout tracks such as "I Love Her, I Love Her, I Love Her," in which Akinelli, and yeah, this is actually kind of a revamp from my 50th episode of the Salty Daughter Donnie Oo when I was talking about this. But yeah, I love her. No, not I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. In which Akinelli was telling his significant other he wasn't ready for a baby. He wasn't ready for no carriage. He actually hopes that she has a miscarriage, which was kind of foul. But in 1993, he was able to get away with such foul behavior. He also, and like I said, once again, I'm not endorsing this, but he also rapped about hoping that she falls down a flight of stairs so he would not have to deal with an unwanted pregnancy. Yeah, Akinelli was on some BS. Vagina Diner, classic, classic indeed. To some, probably banned, and rightfully so. For others, now this next image I'm going to put up here, I probably shouldn't, but I came across this and I downloaded it and I said, you know what? F it. Why not? Sister Ooh, Sister Steph, if my great nephews are watching this, this would probably be a perfect time for you to cut off the iPad and probably fast forward maybe about 10 to 15 minutes toward the end of this episode. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I really don't. I really don't. It looks like what they're implying is that Barbie was definitely the head of the relationship. And that Ken was like, you know what, Barbie? Everything is Barbie this, Barbie that, Barbie Dream House, Barbie Beach House, Barbie Corvette. And I'm just along for the ride. So you could do what you like. Kind of disturbing. Kind of what is that? Is that a cat on the bottom? Oh, whoa, you know what? I'm deciphering this right now for the first time. So we have a cat right on the bottom, right near the couch, right? And then behind Ken, you notice there's a tripod with the camera. So not only is Barbie trying to take the manhood of Ken, Barbie's like, you know what? I'm going to videotape this just to make sure you don't get no funny ideas. Barbie was on some bullshit. I swear. All my audio listeners who I can't I really can't describe this any more than I really have. And like I know I said it's not sensitive, but it's June and I'm trying to be respectful. So yeah. Next picture. One of my favorite cartoons, and one cartoon that I actually decided to revisit over the last month is Thundercats. You know, that 1980s cartoon where we had cats, human cats that fled their destroyed planet of Thundera to come down to Earth, which was effectively called Third Earth. Because this was the third iteration of Earth, I guess, because I guess my iteration of Earth kind of just imploded, and hence that's why last Thursday was like this. Because shoot, that looked like Third Earth right there. But I digress. We had such favorites as Lionel, Lord of the Thundercats, in which he had the Sword of Omens. The Sword of Omens gave him sight beyond sight, hearing beyond hearing, strength beyond strength. And he had his cohorts. He had Panthro, Tigra, Riley Cat, his trusty guardian, Snarf, and the lovely Chitara. I was discussing this with my bro the other week, and I sent him this picture actually, and I said, there's something about this picture that just does not seem right. So you mean to tell me, in my tender age of 9 going on 10, when I was watching this, and this picture's from the inaugural, from the debut episode of Thundercats, that they were showing us porn, cartoon animal porn. I mean, Lionel always had a little crush on Chitara. Looking at this picture makes you wonder why. Also, if once they got to Third Earth, they had clothes. That means what you see is, yes, that's exactly what you think it is. Chitara is naked. I guess since they're all cats, then we really can't really complain, and we really can't point out the obvious that she's a female cat. So what would that make her? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Next picture. Baka, 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 baka. Bitch. This is a cartoon picture of the promo battle from a couple months ago when Io Sky, formerly known as Io Shirai, from NXT, came onto the main roster and had a memorable back and forth with Asuka. And they would go back and forth in Japanese. And Asuka was always animated. She was like baka 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 baka. And Io just replied with one word. Bish. I know, I hope, and I know that we are going to get a continuation of this feud. They teased it last week on SmackDown. Both of them are on SmackDown, on WWE SmackDown, on WWE Friday Night SmackDown. But the roles will be reversed. So maybe Io Sky will be like baka 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 because she's the face, and Asuka will be the heel and say bish. We can only hope. Now this one is probably going to get me in more trouble than Akinelli and the Barbie picture combined. Do you know who she is? I'll tell you if you don't know who she is. That's Britt Baker of AEW fame. This picture is not a picture endorsing or showing off domestic disputes. No, 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 no. This picture was taken after she received a black eye from what? Who was it? Was it Soraya? Was it the Outcast, Soraya, uh, Ruby Riot, and Tony Storm, and Britt Baker? Did Britt Baker put it? I think she put it on a picture. She made a picture and put it on a T-shirt. And there was a lot of outrage because they was like, how AEW is going to do that? You know, if a man wears that shirt, it's almost going to be like, you know, why are you endorsing domestic abuse? And I understand. I understand. I truly do. Me personally, I wouldn't buy the shirt. But at the same, you know what? What they were trying to do, they were trying to emulate the image in which got that got Becky Lynch hot when she got her nose busted open and she had blood all over her face. Her nose was broken and she was standing, and that's when the man became the man. That's the vibe they was trying to get. But the expression on her face does make Britt Baker look like she just got her ass whooped, which she did, not by a man, but once again, you put it on a T-shirt, you walk down the block, somebody's like, yo, what, you think that shit is funny? But I will say this, because this has been a joke that I've been holding in the holster for like what? If this image is like 2-3 months old, I've been holding this joke in the holster for about 2-3 months, 3 months. Because it's actually a joke that that just is self-explanatory. It's a pun on word, it's a play on words, if you will. Dynamite ain't a damn thing funny. Britt better have my money. You know, Friday night ain't a damn thing funny. Bitch better have my money. Yeah, Friday Dynamite ain't a damn thing funny. Britt better have my money. Yeah, listen. I told y'all from the beginning. If you're for the scrimmage, you should have waited by about an hour ago. Hopefully, you'll come back next week. Now, last but not least, and this actually is going to be something that's not inflammatory. It's actually a little bit of promotion. Aaron Rodgers, new quarterback of my New York Jets. There's a lot of narrative being spread. There's a lot of narratives that's going around. And this week, another narrative is spread. But instead of me doing another audio sprinkle of salt episode, no. I'm just going to refer back to Sprinkle of Salt Narratives Part 3. A couple weeks ago. Check it out. This week, the New York Jets was supposed to have mandatory mini camp. Do you know what the New York Jets decided to do? They decided to say, you know what? F mini camp. We think our OTAs went so well, and being the fact that we actually have an extra week, we start training camp a week early. We have an extra game on the slate. We're going to give the team minicamp off and just trust that when they come back next month for training camp, they'll be raring and ready to go. I know people probably want to know what's my opinion on it. I probably should cover this up because because some of the things that I just spewed or some of the things that came out of my mouth, they probably don't want to be affiliated with. But in all seriousness, and even though that was serious, I personally feel this way. No, nobody on our team has ever accomplished anything. Some people say we're bending over backwards for Aaron Rodgers, and that might be the case. But it's a gesture of goodwill. And you hope that the morale being the way it is, and you hope and trust that some people will be responsible enough to come back next month at training camp and be ready and focused for the road ahead. That it's a make or break. It's a make or break year for Coach Saleh. And he's really putting himself on the line, because if they come out flat, in the preseason, they come out flat in the first month of the season, and they get, let's say, get off to maybe a 1-3 start, which is very, very possible due to our tough schedule. I believe we played 3 games in the first 11 days. I could see where a lot of people will use that as the opportunity to say, yeah, what did we say? All hype. Nothing, which got just all hype. But I'm hoping and I'm trusting that those naysayers are wrong, and that we as New York Jets fans will be vindicated in our leader's decision. Yeah, so that's it for the inaugural edition. And shit, might be the first and last edition, but the inaugural edition of Bombs. B.O.M.B.S. Back on my bullshit. Tell me how you like it. Tell me if you dislike it. You'll probably come back again, but I've told people, the one thing I do like about outro. The one thing I do like about the summertime when it comes to podcasting. Yes, I know I am a sports centered podcast. Football, basketball, baseball, wrestling. But when we reach the dog days of summer, and especially when my Metropolitans aren't worth a damn, that opens the whole world up for me to just do what I'm best at. And you know what I'm best at? Do y'all know what I'm best at? Besides everything that I do, best in the world at what I do, I'm best at running my mouth. Yeah, that's what I'm best at. I'm best at running my mouth. I'm best at just running off the top of my head. Well, going off the top of my head and just talking crap and making chicken salad out of chicken-ish. That's what I do. So yeah. So that brings us to the end of another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me and this here podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to. Once again, next week, there will be no new episode of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph. But there will be one thing that I think I'm going to implement going forward. The YouTube, the video, will continue to drop on Mondays, late Sunday night, early Monday mornings. This past week, I decided to drop the audio version a couple of days later than I normally would, because I dropped the audio only version of Sprinkle of Salt last Saturday, and I wanted to give that a chance to breathe. And then a little light bulb went over my head, and I'm like, you know what? This might make sense. Going forward, the audio edition, the mothership, the flagship, if you will be dropping on Tuesdays. To be specific, late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Twofold. One, well, matter of fact, not even twofold. One reason only. When I have to get these episodes together, I ain't gonna lie, heavy. It's a heavy toll. It's a heavy load. And just for having to put the video, just putting the video up takes maybe like half hour or so. The audio, not so much. But the way I like to do my audio, I never want to half-ass it. So in order for me to do the audio the way I love doing the audio, it's probably best for me to give it like a day and a half break in between when I drop the video. So the mothership, the flagship, if you will be dropping late Tuesday nights, early Wednesday mornings on the following platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the formerly named Anchor.fm, Google Music, and Amazon Music, amongst others. New episodes, and I'll change that later. New episodes of the flagship will drop on Tuesday nights, last early Wednesday morning. Follow me at Mike Steffens, _ on Twitter, Mike _ Steph on Instagram, and at Mike Steph _ on TikTok. Yeah. So I think I probably said way more than I probably should have. But it was a very, very fruitful and interesting salty thoughts of Mike Steph. So, with that being said, to all my fathers out there, I like to wish a happy Father's Day. Matter of fact, since I'm not going to be here next week, I might as well get it in now. Cover your ears if you're prudish. Not only is it happy Father's Day, no. It is definitely happy motherfucker day. Aha! See what I did? I'm so sorry. I tried. It took me what? It took me an hour and 22 minutes for my first F-bomb. And like I said, I'm really trying to refrain from using the F word nowadays, but it's Father's Day. Motherfucker day, Father's Day. You get it? So yeah. Also, I like to send a shout out. Happy belated birthday to the Mojo King. Happy pre-birthday to the Mojo Prince. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I would check y'all out in 2 weeks. Don't forget, like I said, check me out on social media so you know exactly what I'm going to do the weekend of June 24th. Matter of fact, or should I say for all my wrestling heads, the weekend of Forbidden Door. Yeah. Let me get out of here. See y'all in 2 weeks. Oh, I was about to press recording. And there's one other thing I need to say. Happy something of. Happy anniversary to me. Happy anniversary to the Salty Thoughts podcast. Because this Friday will be 4 years. Cuatro años of the Salty Thoughts of Miguel. Not Miguelito. No. Nothing lito about Miguel. The Salty Thoughts. Cuatro años. So, happy anniversary to me. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right? Take it easy. Goodbye.